Amnian Nights, and we are in a swamp. We arrived at a swamp last session, investigating a missing group of adventurers on behalf of the Adventurers Guild, and we met up with our contact, who was called Clarency, but through peer pressure, the players unionised against me, and she is now called Clarice. So that is where we are, and we are heading off down towards... Well, the session ended with her going into mammoth form, which was a shaggy, sort of moss-covered mammoth, lifting young Pip up onto her back and beginning to trudge off south through the forest after packing up the campsite. And that is where we find you all today, wading, most of you, through thigh, hip-high swamp water as in the wake of this large mammoth that is just ice breaking through the swamp at a bit of a ponderous pace. Let me pop you all on the map.
Whilst riding the lovely Clarice, I will cast Mage Armor upon myself.
Clarice, at the moment, looks more like this.
Lord.
And it came with a sound effect.
Yeah, mage. No, that was mage armor. A very loud mage. That sounded like the sound effect played several times at once.
It was right as the image of the mammoth popped up, and so I thought it was like an accompanying like trump from the
I absolutely thought the same.
So yeah, and a little Pip on the back as you're wading along. Is there anything that anybody wishes to be discussing? We will save for purposes of RP. Clarice is still able to communicate whilst in mammoth mode.
I think I'm just looking around at the swamp, taking in the sights.
Okay.
So she is able to communicate.
Yeah.
Then Pip would probably be asking, do you know what sort of dangerous creatures might inhabit this area?
But there's a change to her voice. It doesn't seem to actually match any sort of movement of the mammoth's mouth. It just seems to sort of emanate from her, slightly slower than usual. There are snakes, crocodiles, all manner of dangerous plants, carnivorous plants.
Oh no. I think I'm glad to be up here.
I've seen, or rather I've smelled Athkatla pass once.
Really?
And just your usual hags, witches, drowned bodies, all manner of beasts.
Oh my.
A rather quiet region. Frog folk, fish folk, very occasionally bird folk come down from the mountains. Time was there were quite a few gnolls, but they were all driven off, getting too close to civilized lands is what I heard. Dangerous to have nearby civilized lands gnolls. What's the most dangerous thing you've seen?
I suppose probably a dragon.
Oh yeah, I've seen dragons.
There aren't any dragons here, are there?
Oh, most assuredly, a swamp like this will be A few young greens stretching their wings, learning the ways of the world.
Oh my.
Mostly keep themselves to themselves. Once they get bigger than wormlings, they tend to strike off, seeking their own lives. Bit of a crash here for them. All gets a bit too busy. What manner of dragon have you seen?
There were a couple, but an amethyst gem dragon. Quite rare, I understand.
I've never heard of such a type of dragon.
Indeed. Not our biggest fan.
Did you wrong it?
No, he was just set on taking over the world.
Oh. Well, that is not within nature's call.
No, he was the one who was aiming to corrupt the landscape, including the forests.
Hmm. Well, I don't like that.
Me neither.
Did you put an end to his plans? Well, you're here, so I take it that you must have.
Work in progress, perhaps we could call it.
And the mammoth stops for a moment and sort of lifts its head and looks around. It's like, well, the forest remains, so what you're doing must be succeeding by my measure.
Well, let's hope that doesn't change.
Are you all right back there?
Yes, although she isn't. You'd see maybe if Asher's around checking, like Styria looks really uncomfortable trudging through this terrain in plate, and I'm assuming it's quite moist, the air quite humid.
Hmm.
So I think this is not Styria's favorite terrain.
That's how Alexander the Great died.
Yeah, all good. Keep on, just keeping an eye out. And when she's not trying to pick up a plated boot out of some sort of muddy bog, she'll be trying to make sure she keeps her eyes out for threats.
You do definitely see on more than one occasion, because she's making such big movements and disturbances of the water, every 5 or 10 minutes there'll be a time where she takes a step and there's just a sudden movement further out, in that way where a crocodile that's been just resting underwater is scared away and suddenly bursts off. But there's also more than one occasion where her footprints have sunk in deeper than you could have predicted, and a step forward is suddenly 1.5 feet deeper, and there's that awkward sort of attempt to not go under. It is not pleasant travel.
Do you think I could have found some sort of large stick to use as a bit of a walking assist?
Depth checker as you go.
No, just as a kind of, or like leverage, or just sort of like at some point to just assist with the travail.
I'm sure you could, yeah.
Or keep balance,
I'm surprised Asher doesn't have like 2 actual hiking. Asher strikes me as a 2 hiking sticks person.
No. Asher absolutely just puts her hands in the mud like a kid, Like, she doesn't care about getting super muddy. It's part of the experience, and she'll just press the digitate later.
She also strikes me as the kind of person who'd be like, "Oh, we're going to hike up a mountain. Well, I've already got my flip-flops on, so let's go."
Yeah.
God, she does, yeah.
Yeah.
Siri's there researching the climb and looking at all the reviews and working out an itinerary. And Ash is just like, got her bum bag on. Her family pack is ready to go.
Yep. I'm also, Jim, on the lookout for anything that looks interesting or edible.
Yep, it is. Other than the fact there are trees and there are stumps and there are water. It is desolate outside of that. You're yet to see any sort of plants or even interesting fungi. It's just very, very stagnant, all of this. How much provisions do you all have?
Enough.
Things that we did not pay all that much attention. I've got enough for a couple of days.
Oh, that should be sufficient, I would imagine. I would
Not,
I would provide you with enchanted sustenance myself, but alas, I'm having some difficulties with that at the moment.
Well, your honeyed bread thing was delicious, so that's very kind of you.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you think so, but it is a manual effort. I normally have a magical means.
What appears to be the problem with the magic?
The spell no longer functions.
And any other spells having the same issue?
No. So something I've been able to do since I was a calf, but now it simply does not tap into nature as it once did. I'm sure it will come back when and if that gift is re-given.
Does the spell create anything whatsoever? Or you imbue berries that are found, right? That's how the spell works?
Oh, I used to just create berries.
Oh, I see. So is anything created, or they're created and they
No.
don't do anything?
Nothing happens at all now.
Interesting. Would I have ever heard of such a thing happening? Like
I don't think
magical
that Pip
disease
would.
or some deity-based stuff?
You wouldn't know about sort of clerics and warlocks. Their patrons or deities have been able to withhold magic, but this seems hyper specific and outside of your experiences.
Jim, I am proficient in nature and arcana.
You are proficient in nature and arcana and have been privy to events that may be related to this. So do you want to make a check with advantage to try and recall information?
I'd love to. Which check would you like me to make?
We'll go with nature.
Okay. With advantage. Okay. Oh, what a waste of a 20.
You recall
Or not.
You recall specifically that Dame Goodberry was responsible for the boon of allowing the Goodberry spell to be cast, but that in going underground she has withdrawn that gift so she can't be tracked. So you know that you would remember in character that Goodberry has been turned off at the faucet.
Yeah,
And
also that Duke Silvery Barb died in his sleep.
I was immediately thinking, like, is there like Mr. Spike Growth or like?
Yeah, I don't. I think I'm sure it'll come back at some point, and that's all I'll say about that.
Most likely. This walk will get easier soon for a while, before it becomes harder again. We will get to some of the old roads, and then it'll be a bit firmer underfoot for you.
Surely there's plenty to hunt in a place like this, right? On
Most
account
certainly.
of...
Well, crocodiles by the sound of it, and you've got some experience with that, eh, Obsidian?
I do.
Actually, Pip wouldn't know that, but
Yes,
Let-
that's
let's
what
say-
I'm thinking.
let's say you told him.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's the bragger. he's one to brag. Our
Oh, yeah,
obsidian.
totally.
Get him going. Obsidian.
Never stops talking.
Well, Clem, I'll see your dragon and raise you a level 1 crocodile.
Yeah, that was a player mistake, by the way, not just
It's
dropping
fine.
some lore.
That's all right.
That's told him.
No. He knows. He researched us.
He reads your diary when you're asleep.
Hmm.
And there's oryx as well.
Good.
A bit rarer, but plenty of meat on one of those if you find one that's willing to lay its life down. Although I imagine you more would master it. And she turns her head and looks past you, Siri and Asha. It's like, be about your business. And you see there's quite a large crocodile slowly trailing up behind you that sort of stops for a moment. She's like, we are in my charge. Be on your way. And the crocodile just gives back a hiss. And then just sort of sinks and turns and slinks away. Say, you're always so cheeky. Stay closer to me if you can. We have maybe a half hour left.
I'm certainly glad you're here, Clarice. I'm afraid if we were ambushed by such a thing, we'd have to resort to violence.
Well, you'll be safe up there from crocodiles. It's the harpies you need to be worried about on my back.
Pip's head on an absolute swivel.
Forgive me, a slight jest at your expense.
Not funny.
There are no harpies here.
Just probably giant eagles. Swamp eagles.
No, it's all too lowland. I have seen flying lizard folk on one occasion, but that was several years ago, and I think that was an outlier of an incident. I think they'd come through from the Fae or perhaps across the sea from Chult, where I hear they are abundant, but I think it would be altogether far too cold for them here. And you start to feel, after a while, the occasional, like, you find that your feet knocking against more and more brick, or like larger chunks of stone, and you see that it begins to rise up out onto ruined, the remains of clearly a blasted old road. Behind me is the Chult Gate. Okay. Yeah. This is actually, you've been joking about me setting up Curtis Strahd campaign. It's actually Tomb of Annihilation we're going to.
Figured.
Yes.
So yeah, you gradually begin to clamber or set your way out and onto road. You immediately become aware that there are leeches on you. Not Pip, obviously. But yeah, there are fat, pulsing leeches. Let's see how many each. Asha.
Yep.
5 leeches on your legs.
I'm just gonna sit on the side of this road
Siri.
here.
Sit.
Even with the
leeches.
plate.
Yep,
the
they
plate.
They get in everywhere. Obsidian. 1 brave leech.
Couldn't get past his scales.
Yeah, exactly. And other than being disgusting, and there's no immediate sign. We haven't rolled the constitution set checks yet to become were-leeches. But yeah, you are aware of these and can remove them by whatever means you desire. Asher, how would you be getting rid of leeches?
Just gonna sit down on the road, roll my pants up, and just flip them up and flick them back into the water.
You do have the wand of fireball, I will remind you.
Asher isn't so bothered. I would be very upset.
Yeah, you'd be losing your fucking
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I would not be very thrilled, but Asher is like unbothered. She'll just peel them off and flick them away.
Sire.
I would like to know if Syria has in-character knowledge of the best way of removing leeches. So I might roll something.
Yeah, roll. I'm not I feel like I know you haven't been out in swampy places, and I feel like the firebrands are more urban, but I feel you've had that varied noble military upbringing. So I feel that could have come up in like in lessons or things like that. So yeah. Roll history.
I think it or the history or nature. It's the same modifier, but I guess.
Yeah, whichever you.
Yeah, I was go history.
Prefer.
Okay, so I think she technically knows about leeches, and I think she might have.
You'd have heard about marching armies, being weakened, or in even worse cases, getting diseases, if not from the leeches themselves, but certainly from the open wounds in dirty water that they cause. You've heard several different ways of having them removed, mundane and magical, some sounding very ill-advised, some clearly being like the stories of foolish drunken soldiers, like one who insists that a shard of glass from a whiskey bottle is the best way to scrape them off and not have them reattach, where other ones are just like, no, that's stupid. So you've heard many, many different takes, nothing that is regarded as an actual good way of doing it.
She does have a healer's kit, so I think she's gonna follow the Asher removal, because she doesn't. I don't think she'd go like, oh, probably fire or whatever. But there is a salve in there. It says it has bandages, salves, and splints. So maybe it has some sort of like antibacterial salve or like a mild disinfectant salve.
Sure.
So she'll apply that and offer it also to Asher and to Obsidian.
No, I'm good. She'll just press the digitate.
So yeah, Clarency has been sort of stood there watching. Trunk just sort of idly swaying as you apply all of this. Like, shall we be about our way?
Yes, sorry.
We have only a few more hours before it becomes too dark, and it's about to rain shortly. She turns and carries on, no longer wading through water. There's enough of a road that you can sort of identify how you're walking. And I think after a while, yeah, she would actually reach up and pick you up, Pip, and put you back down on the solid ground, and would transform herself back to her Furbolg form, which, if you do not recall, is as such.
What does it feel like, Clarice, to be such a giant and powerful creature sometimes?
It feels more like a responsibility than anything. I don't particularly care for it. It has its uses, but when I'm bigger, there's more that I could and therefore should be doing to help. So
That
it
is a
becomes
very interesting and responsible take. Have you seen such a creature in the wilderness before?
No, I mean I've seen mammoths, but it is not strictly the form of a mammoth I take. It is a gifted form by my circle.
Where have you seen mammoths? Up in the north?
That's indeed where it was.
Most interesting. I would love to see one.
It is very cold. I did not particularly care for it. My ears were stiff, and it was very uncomfortable.
Indeed, I'm not much one for the cold either.
Your ears would also be stiffened.
I'm afraid that they would crack and drop off.
That is quite possible if you went too far north, but I suspect that your body would give you plenty of warning if that was on the way, and you could perhaps do something about it. That would be a shame. Your ears are very long.
Thank you.
Clarice, will you be coming down with us into this ruin?
No, I'll just be escorting you to the edge of the lake and then leaving you to your civilized adventurer business, and I'll be returning to my business. I'm preparing for an expedition of my own, so I will be departing soon, although I shan't be gone for more than a couple of weeks, so the swamp will remain fine in my absence.
Where are you?
I am going to Soldanesalar. I'm visiting with some other members of my circle to meet, discuss matters, see how our various charges and wards are faring, and if we are better served elsewhere, and whose work is complete.
What do you mean complete?
Well, if nature has achieved its own balance and my guiding hand is not needed, then the Archdruid will decide where I go next.
Oh, I see.
This
Sort of
place
a
may
new
not be-
assignment.
That sounds rather clinical. It is not nearly so.
I apologize.
It is a much more natural thing than that. It is not so much for me to be assigned. The place may not agree with me, or nor I it with it. This place may not seem, perhaps, kind to your eyes, but it is as nature intended.
So if you were called to serve in a place to protect it, and yet the place would reject your protection, your guardianship, you would leave it.
Well, first I would work to try and gain its trust. If it still resisted me, I would try and find out why. Maybe it had its own reasons for being the way it is. Maybe what we have divined to be the right course is actually not an informed decision, and I would trust that the land would so tell me.
Has that ever happened?
Once. There was a place that we thought was being subject to drought and needed to be cooled and brought back to wetland in the summer and snow in the winter, because it was affecting great regions of farmland, not just for settlements, but for the good of the soil and the riverbanks, and the land resisted me for many months, and eventually when I earned its trust a bit and it started to talk back to me and show me its secrets, it's because there was a brass dragon egg being sheltered nearby, and they require heat and warmth, and that is why the land did not want itself to be cooled and wetted, for it would have killed the dragon.
How do you earn the trust of the land?
How do you earn the trust of your companions?
I actually have no idea.
I speak to it. I ask it what it needs. I don't just do what I feel it needs. I cultivate a relationship with it. I trust that it will eventually see that I am here to help it and not just to impose civilization on it. And it speaks and it shows, perhaps through visions, which are altogether too rare these days. The land used to show its intent to those who could see, to those who have the potential to understand what it wanted. And sometimes it would speak to me through agents. The trees can speak, the beasts can speak. For all the noises and voices happening in cities, I feel that often you hear so little.
Where
You
did
can
you
see
say?
Sierra's cogs are turning, so she's quiet.
Where did you say this warm place was with an egg?
Oh, it was out Cormyr way. About 25 years ago by now, I reckon.
Did it hatch?
Oh, yes.
Was the dragon okay? Do you know the dragon?
Oh, it was, yeah. Nice young thing. Good-hearted.
We have a friend that's, going around looking for friendly young dragons and eggs. So I was just wondering if it's worth connecting them, so that bring him under his literal wing.
Well, I'll ask next time I speak to them.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know when that will be.
Right. Are they still there?
No.
Oh.
No, they travel around and try to find their own identities.
Well, I'd love if you happen to speak with them again. You tell them to reach out to Asher by way of the Adventurers Guild. And oh, this seems like such a long shot. Athkatla? I mean, just it's worth it.
Athkatla,
We'd love to,
the
offer
Adventurers
our
Guild,
aid.
and look for Asher Byway. I will.
Lots of A's there. Yeah.
I will pass that on.
Thank you.
That's a very unusual surname. Where does it come from?
What? Adventurers Guild?
No, Byway.
Oh. No, like, care of.
You know, you can tell from her face she does not know. Care of.
Usually, so my surname's actually Vasher, but it's like Asher by way of the Adventurers Guild, like through the Adventurers Guild, associated with
She's turned
the
away
Adventurers Guild. Yeah.
and is not looking. It is not looking at you anymore. And sort of casted her head around. She's like, "Are you? Who of you is the most accomplished warrior?"
Jerry looks at Obsidian.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna like glance between Sarah and Obsidian.
I fear we're about to be attacked.
Jerry takes out her weapon.
Hear just different distance of like, sort of chattering from different directions around you.
Siri's immediately gonna take a protective position towards Pip,
Yeah, you
completely
notice-
by reflex.
Is Pip still on top of the mammoth?
No, she's back
No.
in.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah,
she's
she
back
did.
in
She did turn.
Firbolg form.
Yeah.
And
You
you
did, man.
see a small group stalking towards you of squat, green, froggy, fishy looking people.
Murloc.
I love them so much.
And you hear noises from the other side of a road as well. And realise that actually you are slowly being surrounded. And there is a crack.
At least
There is a crack of thunder, and the heavens open as Clarice goes, "Oh, just when I thought it was going to." And I would please like everybody to roll initiative. Well, I'll put you on a combat now.
as we do, and obviously I feel like Gigi knows the answer, but Siri will ask Clarice if these are hostile
Oh.
creatures.
Most assuredly.
Just want to make sure that she's okay with what's about to go down.
That's a lot of dice.
Oh. Looks like we won't have to hunt after all. Roll.
It's so cute. I love.
I wonder how they taste.
So, Pip, you're up first. These creatures seem to be caught. They've dropped all attempt at stealth and are calling out to each other in words.
Sorry, is that accurate for your initiative? What the hell is that?
That is accurate for my initiative.
Okay.
So as they're calling out in these watery garbles to each other, Asher, it takes you a few seconds to realise because there is some very strange, strong accent at play, but you can understand a great deal of what they're saying to each other.
Undercommon or goblin?
Undercommon.
Cool.
You hear, like, surround, touch, maybe feed, maybe trade.
If I hear that, I'm gonna put my hands up and be like, trade in Undercommon.
What does it sound like to the others, though? Yes, it
That's my
does.
best Murloc impression.
Yes. And there's a bit of a pause, and we're like, trade to who?
I guess-
Where's
With each other.
scales? And you see there is this one who is surrounded by a group at the back who is ever so slightly taller. And you see the others sort of glancing over to him occasionally. And he's like, no trade. Too many. And Pip, you see a weapon leveled at you with renewed aggressive intent. you're up.
Yeah, because she'd warned us, I was already like halfway through casting the spell because I knew we were about to get ambushed. And I am gonna cast slow on the larger group concentrated around that guy. In fact, I can hit everyone on the right side, so that's sick.
Oh! That is
Actually,
a large.
however, you're only allowed, I think, 6 targets or something, so maybe I can't, but I'll get as many as I can.
I will definitely relay to the group. By the way, diplomacy is right out.
How many targets? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay,
Is
the
Papa
bottom
no
right
longer-
6.
Is pop-up no longer a thing? Oh, yes it is. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, and I guess that's that. I don't have a whole lot of bonus
I
actions.
love how just one guy made it out. Okay.
I might move actually slightly. To there.
This guy. The back steps out. Raises his staff. Goes, and is going to cast Bane on the nearest 3 people to him, who now with that movement becomes Asher, Obsidian, and Sirek. Has that prompted rolls from you yet? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I didn't say it, so that's it. I didn't do it.
It looks like everybody passed anyway.
Nice.
On my screen. What was it you muttered? What was were you considering a counterspell?
I was looking through my entire sheet for to try and understand all of my reactions because I am terrible at remembering them. But yes, I was considering it. But then I was slow off the draw.
Asher, you're up.
Which one is the guy with the hat?
The guy with the hat on
Bottom
his
right.
head. So I wasn't sure as
Oh,
much. He has a
I just-
full-blown
I
squid
swear to
on his
God, I
head.
couldn't see him. I was going. Everything's fine. Okay. I'm gonna target him then. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a good old Eldritch Blast. And I'd also like to knock him back.
5 or 10, remind me. Pardon?
10?
Are we sure?
No?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Yeah, I think.
I'm fairly confident that it's 10, but I couldn't find right
He
now.
flies back in almost like leaving a trail, almost in like slow motion, as he from his slow effect before he hits the floor.
And I've got 2 now, so I'm gonna. Again. Or not.
Okay. Anything else from you?
I am gonna just ungroup myself with these jokers, and then that's it.
Okay.
I considered that, but then I was like, I want them to protect me, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think he has any sort of he does have multi-attack.
What?
One of his pincer staff. This guy runs in. He's gonna swing that. He's gonna jab that staff at you once. 18
Ah.
doesn't hit the moat, does it?
It does.
Shield.
I will shield. Where is shield?
Is that taking into account your mage armor, though?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, what does your shield look like?
That is a good question. So he
Big
does have
purple
to do.
crystal.
He does have to do a little enchantment. Visclibius! He'll throw up a hand, and as he does, a kind of an invisible wall will bonk the spear out of the way.
And you see him look confused and blink his big fishy eyes, and he taps the staff again for a minute and then just tilts his head, dislocates his jaw, and tries to lunge forward and bite instead. So he now needs to make what? 21 now.
Indeed.
He cracks a tooth on the shield. Sire.
From Sierra's side, Cora just rushes towards Pip, and it's gonna. One of my attacks is gonna go through Cora. Shoot. Against that one.
Shoop.
Oh no! 3 is it a miss?
That hits. Meter beater.
Okay,
Wow.
thanks.
Are these dudes just naked?
I kind of just look a little bit naked.
Ah!
Second attack is also gonna go from Cora. I wish there was like a hotkey binding. Ooh, that hit definitely hits.
In fact, the Kurotoa cries out, Asher, you hear that it's
Ah.
crying out to the others. Spirit!
Ooh.
Spirit!
They have chunky HP. Siri's gonna move. Oh, my screen's gone black. Am I moving, DM?
That's their reaction. They've blinded you on strike.
Oh! Hilarious.
No, we haven't really. Siri hasn't moved.
Oh, okay, my screen is black. Sorry. I like if you would kindly, I'll refresh, but if you kindly move me, I want to be right next to Pip. So diagonally from Obsidian to the right of Pip.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna turn. Oh, there I'm back, and then I'm just gonna say, "Stay close," and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. This Kurotoa is gonna run over, attack the spirit. What's Kura's AC? Remind me. I always forget
17.
He has your AC, does he?
My AC plus proficiency. No, 14 plus proficiency.
Okay. Why can't I target him? I can't physically
She's got
click on him.
plates, so she must have like 20 AC.
I have 21.
21. God, I need 2 spells to get 21 AC.
Tentative bite at this spirit, and it seems to be insubstantial. So it takes another step and is going to attack the lizard man instead. And he speaks in words that only Asher understands to be, "Go away, burning cousin."
Ooh.
23. I assume that hits.
It does.
So the staff clicks in and grips. You are medium or smaller, so you are grappled by the staff.
Fuck's sake. Okay. Powerful 5 damage, but grappled.
This
You
absolutely
asshole.
is the D&D equivalent of like the noose on a stick they get dogs with. In fact, he could have been 5 foot away. Damn. Wish I'd realised I could have had you unable to hit me as well. You know, he has movement. He can step back. You can take an attack of opportunity on him though as he steps back, if you wish to.
Sure. I will definitely take that.
hits.
Nice. Twonk.
He stepped back, but you're still grappled by his stick. Okay, this guy is up now. Is this the one who avoided it? It is the one who avoided it. The only one who's not slowed. He is going to... He's going to step up. And what's the range on this? He's going to throw his net. Throws the sticky net out towards you, Siri. It sails neatly over your head, over Pip's head, over his companion's head, and lands in a splattered mess on the floor. He has, I believe, nothing else out. He is going to keep charging forward towards you, Vasiri.
Oh, Sentinel.
Okay, good.
Fast enough? Not fast enough. Almost fast enough. Hits?
That hits.
Sorry, my computer's really, or something is struggling with the. Oh my god! All these ones. Donk.
Okay. Obsidian. You are up.
Sorry, I presume breaking the grapple is an action here?
It is.
Sure.
DC 14.
Well, in which case, Obsidian will get into a rage and just sort of try and rip the pincers off of himself. Just like he did with the...
No! Bad! Stay! Stay! No!
I don't think so.
Breaks off and he's like, ah!
Well, I'll get their attention. He says, and he will be going, so I presume this one can attack me.
So, well, you're gonna move. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he hasn't reacted. He can.
No. Let's see him react with the pincer stuff and just lock me in place anyway.
I mean, I think that's what's just happened.
Oh, great. Yeah, okay. Well, then I guess I fucking pass my turn and that's it then.
The other one gets in. And, yeah, you are grappled. That's the shittiest combo. The dog wardens are now circling.
That's a lot of them.
Baja, Walba, roar!
Oh dear.
He's baning us.
He is baning you.
I am baned.
Why did you roll to save twice against it, Pip?
I probably waited too long and it auto rolled for me. Either way, both fail.
Yeah. Pip and Siri are baned. I believe that is all he can do, though. He will 5, 10, 15. He'll move a little bit further. Okay, slow is action or bonus, no reaction, yeah?
Maybe.
Hold on. Oh, I can mouse over. I can mouse over the debuff, can't I? Because Monkey set it up properly. Action or a bonus. One attack, no reactions. Okay. If casting a one action spell, Pip rolls a d20. What? What's that?
It's a 50-50 whether the spell takes a second turn to.
Oh,
commence.
yeah, remember me saying.
Hmm.
Okay, well, this whip does not have a huge amount that he can do. He is going to cast Shield of Faith. He's going to look back over his shoulder to Squidhead, who is lying on the ground, and he's going to cast. Oh, let's check the range on Shield of Faith. Isn't touch, is it? No, 60 foot. Yeah, he Shield of Faiths. That's all he's going to do. Oh, what has just been rolled? Oh, seeing if he's still. This guy is now going to try and throw his net over Pip. Pitiful. The Kuatoa God-Shaper looks around him, looks to his warriors, and is going to cast something. This large burst of white light. The rain seems to stop for a moment around his nearest companion. And you notice the other Kuatoa nearby see this is happening and start to almost chant and wave for a moment. And yeah, he grows in size. You see him become more muscular. That's all he can do though. I'm gonna try and throw a net at Sirek. Very regular, too regular. No good for
Rudy.
trade. Oh, you're still targeting
That's,
my friend. Misses anyway. And this one goes, throws the net, misses, and then goes in a slow slur, goes, I will tell Far Blacks. And turns and looks to run, but is slowed. Oh, they are not shaking these slows.
Ooh, I will potentially use lucky footwork for this. Nope, that's so incredibly low. As is that. Damn.
Did that
Oh,
three?
no.
Did that 3 damage, Sacred Flame?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
interrupt the
Yeah.
weave.
I rolled a natural 1.
Ah, okay. They don't benefit from not being slowed until their next turn, though, do they? It drops off mid-turn.
Sorry?
Because slows dropped off and he was slowed. They don't immediately get the rest of all their full ability back now, do they, mid-turn?
Good question.
Well, all this guy could do anyway is move in, so we'll see that's what he does. The big one comes charging in. Whoa! Asher, you hear it as, I am big! And you hear us like going, big, big, big. gonna jab the staff towards Siri. You go away! Still misses. And he looks back to the squid head. And again, to anyone except Asher. Only Asher. Must be bigger!
Can we just leave?
Pip,
Is that
you're
is
up.
that allowed? Okay. So is he embiggened by someone else casting a spell on him?
Yeah, the
Not
god,
as-
the one.
Yeah, he did
Oh.
something. You didn't see traditional spell casting, but he did
Okay.
something. And now seems to be bigger.
I will use a new ability. I'm going to use momentary stasis on the one who cast Bane. Nice. So, since he failed his save, he's incapacitated, which means he immediately would. He's not able to concentrate, so that would go away.
Oh no. I thought that me
Yeah,
his
it was-
concentrating effect would have dropped. Oh, it wasn't him, was it?
Yeah,
No,
it's the
guy
one on the
next to
top.
me.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah. So this guy has Shield of Faith
There we go.
on.
So I need to
Yeah.
re-shield
Oh,
faith this
wait.
guy.
What was this other
Yeah.
guy concentrating on? I targeted the guy on the left because I thought that was the guy.
No, but he'd failed. Like it had a little.
The
guy on
to
your
the
left.
north was the one who was baning.
Yeah.
Oh.
The guy that had a symbol, but his spell had failed, but the symbol was still on for some reason. It's like
Oh.
I was like, I will remember that, but he's not actually
So
concentrating on something.
all I need to do is target him, have him recast Shield of Faith, but don't consume a spell slot. Cool. Okay. So anyway, you did the Bane. You did the Baner.
Yes. So that's the guy north of me, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me just put that because he'll probably fail and then it'll have the effect. Oh, fuck you.
Just to be a dickhead.
Minus 100, please. What the fuck? Why is he only rolling 20? Thank
Okay,
you.
there we go. So he's incapacitated for one turn, is he?
Yeah. The other guy down the bottom left has it on him, and obviously shouldn't. Should I leave? Is the question. I will bonus action bunny hop.
Boing. You
and
hear a
use
few
that.
noises, but even with the language barrier, are still recognizable as.
I leap an astounding 15 feet without provoking attacks. And then I will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, yeah, I guess that's all the things.
Straight into the mouth of a crocodile.
Maybe.
Yeah, this guy's gonna just come straight over, run into Obsidian's like, no! No! Stop fighting! There's like these little bites. The other one turns to him, it's like, bite him? It's like, no, bite! Hard! Asha.
I'm still just working on nuking the guy with the hat. Because I can.
The spell just glances off some invisible shield surrounding him. That one goes through.
Okay. Just for fun, I'll push him back again.
Okay. Sorry, anything else from you?
I'm gonna move just right over here.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
There's just so many of them, and we've killed none of them.
This guy's gonna try and get Sire with his pincer staff. Oh no, he is the one who already has it on Mr. Death, so he cannot. He will. He's gonna try and drag Mr. Death out. He can whilst grappled using half his movement.
Aren't there more of them holding on to obsidian? I'm not even sure at this point.
No, one had his break. Oh yeah, that other one. Yeah, that other one just came in and got him. I think he is, in that case, instead just going to try and smack you again with it. And yeah, Asher, you just hear like this bickering between them where it's like, make him stop fighting! Hit him more! Wait till he lies down!
I haven't even started fighting!
Yeah, he's gonna make another squeeze his pincer staff. A crit.
I mean, honestly, this kinda worked out, because my plan was just to run into the whole group of them and try to hold off that side of the... It seems that they just did it anyway. Just on my position instead. I'm kinda okay with this now.
Oh no,
Sorry.
why is it dark? It's just, I had vision and now it's all black.
Well, it changed when you moved before, so let me move you. Is it back now?
Oh. Yeah, it's back. Thank you. First thing to say is that I inadvertently cheated because that's not how Sentinel works. So this guy over here has 8 HP more, the 8 HP that I took.
Done.
That's not how Sentinel works. Thank you. And I am going to actually through Cora, I'm gonna try to attack this guy because it's the one that has one of them has obsidian attached, and also he has less HP. So you know. That sucks to be him. Oh! Nope. Hits?
Hits.
Hits. My god, these guys are chunky. They're chunky as F. Okay. Well. Chris just having a field day.
Go away, spirit.
These guys are unkillable. These are the strongest Kotoras ever. Yeah. She's not gonna move, so that's her turn.
Okay. This guy comes up and just seems to start talking to Kura for a second. Actually, you just hear like, why are you here, spirit? Why you help stinkies? Spirit! Spirit!
We are
Bonk.
the stinkies. How dare you?
Bonk him! And there's like a bit of a attempt to slap Cora with the stick when he's non-responsive.
Cora!
Yeah.
Is Cora answering? Does Cora speak Undercommon? No idea.
Cora speaks what you speak.
Well,
Misses.
we're hearing a lot of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Unhelpful spirit. This one is going to move around Ciro and is going to attempt to get her with his spear.
Nope.
Misses. Obsidian.
Right. Well, they are close at least. We'll start smacking. I will not be going for... Does that hit? Yeah. I don't feel like we need to go for the... What's it called? Recklessness on these ones. Huh? Oh. Yeah, that I imagine hits as well.
Ooh.
31 damage. Still not looking any worse for wear. What the actual... What? Yeah, okay, well, I won't be biting at it
I
then.
will remind you, just because I know you're poorly sick, in case you've forgotten. Any movement, or are you wanting them all in?
I cannot move, so...
You can move them, though, with your strikes.
Oh yeah, I know, but that doesn't
Okay.
do anything for
Sure.
me, considering
Okay.
where we are. Because they still have the reach, so even if I put them away, it's only worse for me.
Sure, that's true. Okay. This guy. He is frozen by the spell.
So funny.
Bajo! Walamo!
Oh! To me?
Ow!
She's just gonna say, "Let us pass, we have no quarrel with you." In complete not undercommon. Overcommon.
What words Stinky say?
Uh,
No money for Farblax.
I'll call out what she said.
And you see a lot of them sort of react at it, and then they all sort of glance towards Squidhead for a moment. This guy shouts out, "I go to Farblax." And then he just starts running off. Very his flipper feet slapping.
They're just so
Slapping
cute!
over your
I don't
rolls.
want to kill them! They're so cute!
Bajabo! Bajabo! Bajabo!
Dreams of strength. Oh dear.
The other guy gets even much bigger now. And then he calls out, You listen to God. But only Asher understands. The others all again. Big! 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 This guy is going to... Asher, Pip, you see him. This guy over here looks at you both some 30, 60 feet away from you all, and very slowly, one at a time, in like an imitation of Pip, seems to be bunny hopping towards you all with big double lick. Wow! Wow! Gets distracted in a puddle that's forming and stops for a second, and then leaps forward going, big! 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 And then seems to remember that he should be doing something, and a bit of a panic, just gets a net and tries to throw it at Asher. But his heart wasn't in it. It doesn't clear half the distance. Kuatoa Whip is gonna try and add his staff to the pile of grips on obsidian. But I don't think that one makes it. Nope. The big guy. Oh, big. Is gonna get his staff and swing it down at Asher. Siri.
Let's do it.
Raw. Still managing to miss.
I'm gonna,
He has
with my new shield, I'm gonna like
multi-
deflect it. Deflecting it with my shield.
Raw.
Ow. That hits.
Just this big.
Ow.
You are grappled.
I am grappled.
And then he will step back. You're just being dragged by this pincer. Oh, Barbo. Asher, you hear? Just come with me. Top of the round, Pip, you're up.
I'm gonna have to move closer. Okay. And I'm gonna try and momentary stasis the one that is stealing Sire away. Nice.
Oh, does it get to save on that one?
It has auto
Oh, is
populated.
it auto? Because he should be adding plus, or is that 2? He should be adding +4 to that. Where is the... So he would have passed that, he would have got an 18.
You bastard.
So yes. and
Well,
that's- Just he is 2 stages of embiggened.
well, that's sad.
Okay.
Actually, hang on, no, I'm not close enough. Fuck.
This one is going to release his grip on obsidian and go running along Like, you see Siri, him running towards you. It looks like he isn't actually running to you. He's coming to run alongside next to you with the bib and going, big, big, big.
So cute.
You can, however, attack if you want to, as he is entering your within range of you.
That's pole arm.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Asher. Oh, actually, he will, as he runs over, as it is something he is able to do, he will target big, 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 and Shield of Faith him. Just chanting, almost like half running, half dancing, as he's running along next to him. Okay, now it's Asher.
Okay. I'm going to message the guy with the hat.
Okay.
It's 120 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm just be like, how much would you be paid for us? And hold on. This one doesn't have a limit. Can we pay you to go away?
You see him sort of jump for a second, like he looks up to the squid, and you almost swear for a second the squid kind of like shakes its head after a moment, and like he's been casting all these spells. He puts his hands on his hips and is like just. And can they reply to this one? I wasn't sure if this one can reply. I thought you just send something.
Yeah, they can reply.
The reply is. The reply is. Trade for Farblex with work. Don't need jewels, just protection.
Okay, well I can't go back and forth. But free action, I'll yell at the group. They want us to work for protection. I don't know what that means, but that's my turn.
Okay. Squidhead just shouts out in their language. Big warrior can fly. Big warrior will save us. Watch him take to the skies. And then he starts going, sky, sky, sky. This whip is gonna step over. Give Obsidian the staff treatment. Oh my god, also a hit. I don't feel like 17's a low. This guy's CR 1, and he's consistently hitting. But again, while this guy gets his pincer on Obsidian and sort of turns and is like, fly, 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 fly. Everybody make me an Arcana check.
Oops.
Oh no.
Pip.
What's happened?
I mean, that feels.
Pip, you become acutely aware through all the rain and the slight mist around here, a strange, very almost imperceptible magical shimmer seems to be spreading around the area. Its exact nature. Make me make me either a history check. Yeah, make me a history check. No, a nature check.
I'd
Just-
prefer to
just
make a
Pip.
history check.
Just Pip. You know from your studies that Kuatoa are very strange creatures that have interested many scholars because for reasons that should not make sense, they seem to be able to directly manifest their beliefs as reality. And as they are all beginning to chant something, a form of magic seems to be generating around you. Okay, now it is Siri's turn. You are grappled,
Oh, I'm very
being dragged by the big goofy fish.
I'm very confused because Gina wants to do something, but Syria would do something else. I'm assuming there's no shouting from Pip.
Gina in this swamp, or is Siri in this swamp?
Syria's in the swamp. Oh. And because she's boring, basically, Syria's going to manifest where Kuratoro is standing, back to back with Obsidian.
Swapping.
As she swaps out of the grapple. Just where Kura is. So now Kura is being the one being grappled, I guess. And this fellow at the north is the one that has pinched Obsidian, right?
I think north and south Obsidian.
Yeah, I think they all have, essentially.
Well, let's start with north. These guys are super chunky. And I will say now, just because there's... Asher has said something about conversation. Not that this will kill them, but if they do, I'm going to try to make these non-lethal.
I will try to make mine super lethal, just for the record.
Hits.
Oh, I've been rolling all these ones! Oh, my word.
Hits.
They're made of, like, flubber.
Oh my God, another
I've been
one.
rolling ones. It's like all the ones. Let go of my friend.
Which you hear, Asher, is... What does she say? The guy who was right next to you, suddenly... The spirit... Kuratara has become... Siri. It looks at you like... Spirit! Why now, Stinky? And it is going to try and... Oh, well, so Siri is not grappled anymore. This guy is going to... He'll try and move away from you, actually. You'll try and back up.
Well,
You
yeah, I
gonna
will.
attack?
Yeah. Might as well, like, try to establish that we're not defenseless creature to be, like, dragged around wherever they want to drag us around.
One.
Believe! The Kuratara all believe in your terrible rolls. My god, that's so nearly a 1. Yeah, hits, so he can't move.
I mean, I've been hitting. I've just been rolling, like, 1 damage. Like,
Yeah.
my damage is awful.
So you
Donk.
gonna step away, you block him. So instead he is gonna first try and staff you.
Nope.
And misses, leaps forward and a bite. Also misses.
Siri is a whirlwind of attacks, but none of them are precise. Maybe she's panicked
This guy comes
at the
running
overwhelming
towards-
numbers.
Running towards you, Pip, when he's about halfway towards you, he changes into the bunny hops. Slap, slap, and then slap, slap. That's what he is. He seems to be just Obsidian.
Sure. Is it an actual storm, or is there like lightning around
No.
as well,
heavy
or
rain.
just the heavy rain? Okay.
Trying to work
Well,
out what
then.
this could figure in on for you.
Hmm?
Trying to work out why.
As if that nothing. I will not do something then. All right, we'll swing then, because that's what we can do here.
Hits.
One. Clonk.
Tell me how you
I don't-
kill before you go a tell.
Finally. Yes. Oh. So this one held me, was holding onto me, so I imagine the pincer stays still, just sort of hooked onto Obsidian's bicep or something. I don't even know where they are, like, catching. But Obsidian just brings a heavy overhead strike, just sort of completely ignoring the fact that he's being held in place, just sort of already resigned to it. Overhead right onto the skull and just sort of blobbing the whole thing inside it, like crashing it into the ribcage.
Okay, yeah. What next?
And then swings around and tries to do the same for this.
This guy's eyes. This guy's eyes are somehow even wider, looking at its companion.
Make the head fly. Slam it down. Okay. I need to check something. Does it work for me as well? The crusher thing. Attack rolls against this creature are... Yes! Attack rolls against that creature are made with advantage until the start of your next turn, so mine as well. I was just checking if it works only on other people or for me as well. I guess it wouldn't make sense, but yeah, so I will jaw him as well. Try to bite the head off since it didn't pop. So that would be an advantageous unarmed strike. Oh, well,
Still hits.
not very advantageous, are we? Well, taking a chunk out of him, but apparently not enough yet.
So,
Rip you to shreds.
is that you?
Yeah.
With the death of one of them, all hell breaks loose. There is screaming and panic everywhere. They are all screaming and flailing and wailing and start to run around in a complete panic.
Oh. Did Harrison's microphone just do us a favor?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was my internet or if it was
Poor
just
Luca.
clipping because he was screaming so loud.
Luca has been spared none of this.
We got the gist.
Even the God Shaper screams, looking at the pile, and you all notice immediately as they all start to panic and scream about their murdered companion. The big one withers and shrinks, also screaming. This one, who Obsidian has hit, sort of tries to get around him and falls to his hands and knees, picking at bits of like the inside of his friend's head, going.
Oh. Am I no longer grappled then?
Yeah, he drops it,
Fuck yeah.
and it's just like.
This one dies next.
Pip, you're up. The one next to you, seeing his friend. In fact, hold on. Before you have your turn, I'm quickly checking something. This one stood next to you when it all starts happening and all the screaming starts. Looks over, terrified, and you see that, like, without even looking at you, it's like he looking at what's happening. He tries to hold your hand. Okay, Pip, you're up.
I recoil in horror And is this a ranged attack? No saving throw. No, I won't do that. I immediately throw a hand up and I'm going to cast Mind Sliver at him.
At least it's not
Ultramentus!
shocking grasp.
I do not have that prepared.
Remind me what the effect of that. Isn't that where you track them, or is it not Mind Spike?
It is, if he has to do another saving throw, he will have a penalty.
Okay.
But I'm going to remain steadfast, not holding his hand, and trying to look brave because Asher is right there.
Okay. Asher.
I am gonna message the guy again. And I'm gonna say, this is the spirit. Retreat, so no more of you die. If you want to talk to girl in the blue cloak. I will say no more. And then I'm gonna run forward and just like...
The reply you just hear is like a panic of like... How to retreat or talk? Retreat or talk? Which one? Retreat? Ah! Talk! Can't talk if retreating! Ah! Instructions unclear.
I only have so much action!
Okay, anything else from you?
I am just gonna wave at the guy and try and I don't know, hope that he sends all his dudes away and parlays with me. I don't know, man.
But I feel like what you also requested was this. Of all legging over to you.
I mean, I'm also fine with that.
Okay, anything else, Masha?
No, I want these guys to be my buddies, not my enemies.
Siri's gonna look at the one next to her.
He is
And
looking
just
like
kinda
that
like-
old famous advert of like the Native American on the roadside with all the litter and the single tear. He looks at his friend on the floor and they can't cry. They don't have the sort of eyes for it. But the rain has been falling directly onto his eyeballs and it runs down like tears in the rain.
Jesus.
Siri's gonna make eye to bulging eye contact and kind of look in the direction of where everyone else is running and just say, go! And she's gonna hold her attack just in case this creature tries to attack her or Obsidian.
Okay.
And Cora is gonna fly over a little bit closer to me, actually. Should use the move function. There.
Okay. He absolutely goes to join his friends, but then a strange spirit drifts in front of a way and he sort of steps around it a bit. Spirit who had tried to hold your hand and then got mind slivered looks hurt. Are you going to attack of opportunity as he moves away?
I could, but I didn't have a weapon out, so I won't.
You'll dash. Obsidian, it's you.
Wow.
The guy next to you, as a reminder, has dropped his weapon and will be classed as prone as he is in the hands and knees of his companion.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be threatening me then.
No. Advantage, Joe.
Wow.
Stop that.
We need to strike now. They are distracted. And Obsidian will most certainly do what he wanted to do in the first round of this combat and just rush towards this little bugger. And yeah, continue on the assault. not being privy to all the messages going around.
Yeah.
Just check what here. Yeah, he's at 20 at the moment.
Oh, okay, so the second one misses, and the
Second one
first one was
misses.
minimal damage. I'm not sure if it's any consolation to the guy with the squid on his head, but
Can I yell out at Obsidian?
I imagine
Always.
so.
Yeah,
Oh.
Obsidian, I'm just gonna yell at you and be like, hey man, let's parlay! They're willing to chat! Though, at the beginning of this, I would like to remind everyone that they were not.
Yeah, screams break out. Well, once she calls it, does Obsidian's stance or manner change?
I mean, considering he's surrounded by them, I suppose that very highly depends on what they do next.
They're screaming.
Yeah, I mean,
The death,
sure.
the Black Death has killed their companion and now just leapt into the midst of their defensive huddle.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I guess if they like, Obsidian was expecting like further resistance, and like the definite jumping between them was expected. They will now try to like converge upon him, but seeing that they are still completely like probably unnerves him a little bit. Just sort of doesn't know what to do with it, like surrounded by these screaming figures.
They're
So
willing to
he
chat!
probably does like relinquish slightly and just observes them, looking for a hidden agenda or some sort of, I don't know, do they want to cast a spell now? Some specific sort? What is happening here?
This guy tries to sort of backs away a little bit.
Does he disengage though?
He does not disengage.
Okay, I will
This
not
guy
swing.
backs away. This guy is gonna run towards the girl in the blue cloak. And just tries to hold your hand.
Sure, I'll take his hand and I'll be like, I'm calling a truce! Just yelling out in the rain.
Does anyone else have an action they wish to take before we consider this parlay?
truce.
I know, I'm just imagining, I can tell there is probably a Discord server somewhere that Monkey is really putting a screenshot into saying, look at these motherfuckers grouped up and we're talking instead of fighting.
I just to check this quota is dead, not like put 1 HP into him and they'll come back to life. Dead.
His head has become jam.
Okay. I
Jam.
tried. Okay.
Then, as we head into a truce and some inevitable chat, it is 25 minutes after where we'd normally break. Let's break for 15 minutes. So 25 past. So. People seem to become a bit calm. And as the rain picks up, everyone is left sort of staring at each other. And the one with the squid on his head, the squid looking around very suspiciously, holding your hand, looks up at you, Asher, and in Undercommon just says, Spirit sent you?
Yeah, man, what the fuck? I will reply in Undercommon. I tried to talk to you at the beginning. Why? What? Why are you attacking us?
We thought you were weaker. With a very sort of matter-of-fact,
Alright, well...
Clay doesn't understand the societal.
Well, we're not. So, like...
Fight weaker, run from stronger.
Okay, well then, like, do you want to fuck off? Now then? We're not weaker.
No. Can't fuck off now.
Why?
and sort of squeezes your hand a little bit and in a big toothy fishy way gives you what almost seems the way you'd smile at a child who's being stupid and be like, Spirit sent us.
Which spirit?
Head spirit. You will help Farblex.
What does Farblex look like?
Me. No hat. Different hat. Not Kuatoa. Jumps taller.
Does it have wings?
No. It's Farblex. And then we'll open his hand and make like an illusion from bubbles that looks to be very, very similar to them, but a little stockier, slightly less bug-eyed.
What does he need?
Farblex is Great Seer.
What does he need help with?
All need help. So sad. So sad. Need help protecting us.
From what?
And these are all sort of shuffling over. And like he lowers his voice and in a bit of a tremulous whisper comes in with the big villain.
What is the big villain?
Big villain comes every night. Eats us. Always eats us.
Where does it come from?
The deeper swamp. And you hear going like, the deeper swamp!
Like underneath?
Maybe.
Do you know what it looks like?
Like me, but much bigger. Except, looks disgusted. Very big eyes. He says whilst looking at you with these disconcertingly large eyes. Picks you up.
We're planning on going underground to an old temple. And hopefully making things better. Maybe it's the same villain.
Hmm?
Yeah. We also would like to fight villains. But we can't do that if you're fucking us up.
Obsidian will bark towards the ones that are approaching and try to scare them away a little bit.
Same as they approach
They
Asher
sort
on
of
Asher.
mill around
Yeah.
and are just like happy now and dancing. You see, you get the sense they're trying to do kind of the football lift thing up, but they just don't have the strength to. And they're just sort of like grabbing for a moment and then just like.
I'm gonna look at everyone else and just comment, gonna be like, listen, there's like, they've got some big leader of them that sent them to come and get us, I don't know, to enlist our help? I'm not sure. There's some crazy creature with huge eyes that comes at night and eats them. They say it comes from the deeper swamp. I don't know if that's from the same place we're going or what, but I've told them that we are also here to fight villains, as they call them.
And how did they figure we're gonna help them?
I think they
Us-
were
They are
hoping
attacking us.
that we would either help fight it or maybe to just buy him 4 more nights of, not getting eaten by us getting eaten instead. It's really unclear. I'd rather not find out.
Mm-hmm.
That is-
Even though they don't understand common, there's so much sort of like, like even like tapping each other on the shoulder, like.
I feel like this changes nothing then.
Clarice, do you know any of about this? Have you?
I've not encountered this particular family, but by the deeper swamp, I imagine they mean more to the south, where the ruins of the city used to be. Things get stranger and more twisted the further in you go, farther away from hunters and the beaten path, and closer towards the ruins of the old city and the old temples.
Is that where we're going?
I'd say you're on the periphery. Where the swamp starts to become the deeper swamp, I'd say.
But you've never heard of this creature, this big villain?
Big villain? I mean, that's just some enemy, is it not? I've not heard of a creature called a big villain before.
What do they want now?
Surely we could just leave and be on our way.
Squidhead is
She's
like,
looking at Asher.
you come speak to Fablax?
What if we just go to where we're headed and hopefully it's the same villain? Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Wait, hold on, Asher. It might be the same villain, but maybe the Spurblacks have some information we could use.
You're not serious.
I mean, I'll be real with you, Siri. The idea of like surrounding ourselves with a camp of these guys is not super exciting to me, especially if their leader is less chill than these guys, or if their ideas of help aren't actually getting our help and more just using us as bait, you know? It is.
Pretty sure that they were gonna do that. Yes.
But also, the DM is guilt tripping me. He made them make sad noises.
Cute sad noise.
Should I kill one more to make this simpler for you?
Like, not now one of them looks at you, Obsidian, is like,
No, man, I don't think no, man.
Are these edible, Clarice?
I mean, by plants, most certainly. I suspect you probably mean by you and I would wager that we would most likely not find it to be a pleasant experience, but I suspect it would nourish you enough to keep you alive in the wild. However, there are plenty of edible mushrooms around here.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'm gonna look around at you guys. So,
The squid, though.
are we wanting to go and talk to this Fablex to get more information, or are we wanting to just continue on our way? I kind of feel bad for These guys. But also, I know we got much bigger fish to fry.
Pearls.
Could we get a vibe of whether we think that what's going on with them is related to the temple?
I don't know how do you hope to interpret that vibe? They have told you know that some adventurers have gone missing in a temple. They are telling you that something is coming and eating one of their number each night.
The obvious conclusion is that they were kidnapping those adventurers.
Have you seen this man? Maybe we should ask them about the local temple. If they know.
Are you saying that in character?
Well, yes, but obviously I can't speak to them directly.
If you say that, I will turn back to Squid Guy and be like, are there others of us that you guys have taken to try and help?
No.
Others like us that you've seen?
Haven't seen Stinkies in a long time.
So they haven't seen anyone like us in a long time.
Stinkies
I mean,
very never come here.
let me put it this way. It is getting darker. They have some sort of encampment. This creature comes every night. It probably will come this night. Together, maybe with them, we can defeat the creature. And perhaps they help us down by the temple. They seem to be able to swim, says she by just looking at their gills or their fishy looks.
This guy sort of loses interest in the conversation and is pip-hopping around a little bit.
I'm gonna turn back to Squid Guy. Do you have magic or any way that helps Stinkies breathe underwater like you guys maybe can?
Oh, yes. These
Yeah, but we don't have those. We don't got those.
can try and make.
No. No.
Can ask Farblex. Farblex has big magic.
Does he?
Farblex came from Stinky Lands.
Is he a Stinky?
No.
Was he?
Was in Stinky Lands.
But he didn't used to be a Stinky?
No. Can't be used to be a Stinky.
Big magics.
Big magics.
What look like?
Why use many words?
Why stinky shape? Stinky.
I'm gonna turn back to Sarah. Okay, they say their leader guy has big magics, and that also he used to come from lands like ours. It's unclear whether he used to be one of us or not. Okay, I'm gonna turn back to Squid Guy. Do you understand what it means to parlay? Like, we go with you to meet with your leader, and no one's gonna harm us. Your
No.
people.
No,
What?
not right. Is make soup taste nice.
No. Totally different thing.
Is.
No. Okay. No, that's parsley. Listen. Parlay is like where it's truce, no fighting, no hurting each other, no bonking each other with sticks, no anything. And we come and talk to you guys and your leader, and we exchange information. We chill in your camp for a little bit. Everyone gets along and is friends. Okay, and then we leave as friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Can we come do that?
And they're all dance very Ewoky. Roll.
Why
Turn
are they
back to the group
happy?
and be like, I think we're in some sort of truce parlay agreement right now.
So they are going
So
to
we
leave
can
us
go talk
alone.
to their leader.
Well, at least hopefully the leader is smarter.
Wow.
Wait, are we all
Could
in
have said it a lot worse
agreement?
than that. Hmm?
Are you all committed to this?
I think more information is good. Help
I love whenever
magic.
Obsidian's just like, I'm surrounded
Magically?
by idiots.
Help magically
Well-
is potentially good. To breathe
The-
underwater to get down to the temple.
See,
I
it's
think
moments
that's the
like
problem, right?
it's moments like this that this token was made for.
He's like,
Is the
Fuck.
temple actually underwater?
I
Yeah.
think that's what Tori said. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't know this until we got here.
Yeah.
So it's not like we kind of need these guys or an alternative, but yeah, is what
It's now
Celia would be
just struck
saying in
me that I
character.
have made a completely underwater map before.
But have you made water breathing potions?
No, and
which
she
is
also didn't
why
buy the thing.
we need to go talk to this guy.
Well, Obsidian can breathe
so that
underwater.
maybe I
Send
can
him
use
in.
a
So
long
can
rest
Sarah.
tonight to see if I can figure that out. I don't know. I doubt I'm gonna figure it out in one night though.
We only need 2. I guess we go to Seafar Blacks.
so you are led.
Despite the
sli-
fact there's some guy missing, possibly in mortal peril.
Hey, we're still on the way to help him.
And it's also like she said it's getting dark. Clarice says it's getting dark. She said bad things happen in the dark.
Which
Like, we're
one's
not gonna
it
get into
right
like
now.
But worse things
she
happen
said.
in the enemy camp than in your camp.
No, but like are we gonna go into the underwater temple at night?
Well, I don't know.
I
we
mean,
can
if you're
count
underwater
on
in a temple,
ourselves.
you wouldn't be able to tell what time of day it was.
Because you'd be drowning.
So,
I my
okay, so
mum when I was little off the computer at 7 p.m. because she doesn't want you looking at porn. And you're like, do you think the porn comes on after a certain time on the internet?
It does.
Well,
What's
there's
the
more
watershed?
there at night. It's like, yeah. The watershed.
so I mean, from Obsidian's perspective, there has literally been one thing that attacked us here. I mean, unless you're counting the fucking leeches, and that's those guys. Like, they've been trying to hurt us. Out of all the things in this swamp, they are like the one thing.
But now
I'm just
then-
going for what yeah, like that's what our guide said. I'm not like Asira's no expert. I'm just re-quoting what Clarice said.
Ashley's made it clear that she's up for whatever the group wants. But it seemed like we maybe needed more information or some water breathing. But we can also just fuck off if we feel strongly about it.
So, I mean, so far it seems that it's 3-1, so Obsidian will follow the group, but he will very clearly not be. He will very happily not be happy about it. Very clearly.
Obsidian, you'd shy away from a fight with a big evil. If anything, it sounds like a really fun night in the swamp.
I don't think I've ever heard those words together.
So you're led by this. They kind of mill around you. Sometimes different ones run ahead a little bit, right, with their feet before turning around and like dancing and coming back. And there's this general jostled crowd around you. And more than one occasion, one of them just like in a complete language you don't understand. Siri is like sort of taps you. And
How are they reacting to Kura?
So they were very interested by like the existence of him. Were annoyed they couldn't hit him, and several of them clearly you see have moments of they're thinking of poking, and perhaps maybe they wonder what that means for truce. So there's lots of just like, watching Kura move around.
I think
They
like
don't seem to be like reverent or anything.
no, I wonder if they kind of like a cat with a light. Like Cora might kind of sip around, particularly if they are being chased. They might enjoy that, but if not, then they'll just stick quite close to me.
And after about half an hour, 45 minutes of it, you're still heading mostly south in the direction you wanted to be going. They start to talk in slightly more hushed garbles to each other and seem to be looking out for certain landmarks, and you see the sagging, ruined remnants of some old church or building half submerged, and in front of it there's two more of these things stood holding their staffs, looking very like almost like Beefeater and like serious. When they see your crowd in the distance, they're just and like all severity just falls away.
Oh my god,
Is
they
it
have a
in a
fort.
graveyard?
Yeah, we'll say there's no gravestones here.
Okay. Good.
And I'm putting the tokens together in a group, but you're certainly not being like frog marched.
Hmm.
And there's lots of just like, you hear Asher parts of like, found stinkies to speak to Farblax, help with big villain. And you,
Can they please not call us stinky?
Big villain.
you hear, come stinkies, come. And again, they all like overtake you and sort of go spilling in mostly. There's certainly no like, jabs to the back or anything.
What are we in, DM?
The open roofed ruin of a church, almost entirely open to the sky. And there are many Kuatoa in here, like all sat in, on, or around bits of rubble and ruin, facing forward. And you see, stood in the pulpit at the top, a bullywug, but with a fish on his head. And Squidhead runs up and quickly starts garbling something to him. All the congregation, for lack of a better word, who haven't come with you, turn and are very interested in your arrival. There's lots of garbling. The smell is fairly bad.
Reptile house at the zoo kind of
Yes.
vibe. Yeah.
And Farblex looks up from Squidhead and looks out across you all and just sort of croaks like, hello? Do you
In
speak?
Undercommon as well?
No, in common.
Oh. Hi, Asher Vasher. These are my companions. And you're Fablex?
I am the Grand Farblex.
Oh, is that a title? I'm sorry, I thought it was your name.
It is.
Oh, with a the? Is that part of it?
It is.
Alright, the Fablex. Pleasure to meet you.
And he climbs up a little bit onto the fallen pillar. Please, come in. Make yourself comfortable. He's gesturing to the decidedly uncomfortable surroundings.
We hear you have a problem with a villain that comes at night.
The big villain.
Do you know
Yes.
what kind of creature the big villain is?
He resembles me more than they. A large, bestial frog. Bipedal.
He's speaking in common, right? So I don't have to translate
Yep.
anymore. I'm gonna look around at the others. Any ideas what that is?
I would love to know whether I have any idea. In fact, any other descriptive, qualities or interesting features that it has?
Disproportionately large eyes. Talons. And a mouth that opens too wide. I do not think it is a natural creature.
And they said it comes from something called the Deeper Swamp?
This is the swamp to the south.
Yeah.
Yes, where it becomes older and thicker and houses older creatures.
So, like, we're kind of headed in that direction. An associate of ours came down here and went missing recently. And so we've come down to try and find him. I guess he was investigating some sort of sunken temple.
Ah, the temple of the two shattered dreams. If it's sunken. Yes.
Is that the temple? Do we know?
Well, you said it was sunken.
No, I'm speaking over the table. Is that did we know if that's the name of the temple? Or did we know the name
You
of the
didn't know.
temple?
You hadn't been. That's the first
Okay.
time you
No.
heard of it.
Does Clarice seem to recognize that name? Okay. I actually, back to dude. I actually don't actually know the name of the temple. But if that's the one
If
that's
it is sunken beneath the water, it is the temple of the two shattered dreams.
Have you seen anyone come through or heard of anyone coming through and heading there?
I have seen no stinking. Forgive me. I have seen no outsiders to the swamp.
Right. Okay.
Not in a number of years. Not many come this far into the swamp. It's part of why I came here. I like the peace and quiet.
I'm sorry, I actually don't know his name. The one with the hat?
Squidhead.
Sure, yeah. Squidhead said you do a fair bit of magic.
I have some small gifts. I was a cleric of Trontier before I moved into the swamp.
We just lost Jija in voice. Is that just me?
She's blinking away. No, she's still in voice for me.
Weird.
That's
It
weird.
just showed that you dropped for me.
It did. Sorry, I'm back. It just froze closed. I was like, okay.
So yes, I was a cleric of Trontier, but I still possess some of her gifts of healing and life and magic.
You wouldn't happen to have any way to just, like, bestow water breathing abilities, would you?
Heavens, no, that is not something I need, nor do my family here.
How sunken is this sunken temple?
Very. But I could brew you a potion overnight if you wished.
You dabble in
I-
potion making. Yeah.
Make some potions in the swamp.
I'm a bit of an alchemist myself.
The swamp has many gifts.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around at the others and see what they seem to be thinking.
Based on his description, did we get a vibe of what kind of creature it is? Would I
Make
know?
me a nature check.
Ooh, look at that.
It was the mention of the jaw and the claws that made you suspect perhaps this is not a giant frog, but is actually a little bit more demonic in nature. You recall from the description of the text, this kind of matches the description of either a frogamoth or a bandahob. Seems to meet both of those. Frogamoth just being some huge frog-like monstrosity, and a bandahob being a demonic sort of were-toad. Or demon toad. I would be remiss if I did not vouch for the benefit of my people. We could offer trade. You drive away the big villain, and I will give you potions to fulfill your goal.
I'm gonna look at my.
I will also gladly tell you what I know of the region if you have any questions.
I'm gonna look at everyone else.
You
Would you get
have a
just
large.
1 minute, please?
You have a very large family here. Most of them skilled warriors. I mean, it took us a minute to. Your family has not been able to fend off this big evil? What does it do?
It is difficult to explain. They cannot drive it away because they are afraid of it.
I see.
Once they are afraid of something, their power rapidly burns away. They are creatures of belief.
We witnessed one of them become gigantic. Is that something they can all do?
With adequate belief, yes. This is how all gods work, is it not? With Kuotoa, it is simply more direct.
But they, for some reason, cannot believe themselves into a victory against the big villain.
Because they have seen their friends killed by him. They have short-term courage, but not the long-term courage necessary to overcome a fear like that.
Will they rally with us if they see the tide turning our way?
I believe very much so. It is easy to see their behavior and to mistake them for bullies, but it is a very complex belief system we are beholden to.
I'm gonna kind of half swim over to.
Oh, it's not that deep.
I mean, it's covering the benches, so I figure it's either gonna be that really annoying, like.
It's like shin deep.
Oh, all right, fine.
Sorry, unless you want it to be deeper for something cool you want to
Well,
do.
it's more just like when you're in the shallow part of the pool, it's like, man, I'll just sink down and swim rather than do the horrible like walk thing. So like, yeah, she'd absolutely do that, and just doggy paddle over to Obsidian and be like, hey man, so turns out their leader's super friendly. He's willing to brew us underwater potions, or underwater breathing potions, if we take a look at this giant frog thing that's eating them in the night. What do you think? Do you want to come in? Also, he says he'll give us information.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what I want here, so continue.
What do
Talks.
you want here?
It is irrelevant. Sira seems to have made up her mind. I will help you with this.
Alright. Do you want to come in, or are you chilling here?
No, I would rather not.
Okay. I'll come back. Obsidian says he's in, kinda. What do we want to
There
do?
are more of you outside.
Oh, just one of us. He's
Ah,
he's a little shy.
shall I go and speak with him and introduce myself with this?
Nah, I don't. Nah, it's fine. He's with us, so it's all good.
Very well. What would you like to know then?
Well, I'm gonna look at the other two and try and figure out, like, they haven't actually signed on yet, so, like, I don't want to just, like, what do you guys want to...
I feel that it is fair if we are heading into a temple that we cannot access, or at least half of us cannot access, we need the means to access. And clearly, she looks at Clarice, it doesn't sound like this creature is off the swamp. Siri's trying to look for some reassurance from, like, their natural guide that, you know, this is okay with her.
She.
She's like,
Well, you said I'd stay with you till you reached the shores of the temple. If this is an unnatural threat preying upon them, it is both in nature's course and perhaps will make these folk less aggressive. If this is your course, I'm content to aid you with it. But I'm also fine if you wish to walk away from it and find an alternate means of entering the temple. Of the two shattered dreams, it would seem.
Is that a god, or what? DM, does that even sound familiar? Asher's not particularly religious anyway.
No, I don't think anything would click immediately for your characters.
is that 2 shattered streams? Like the number 2 shattered streams?
Yeah.
So I will just look at Sarah and Pip, who, again, still have not signed up, and just be like...
No, I think you're definitely getting that, like, Siri's like, okay, big bad evil creature to kill, get help to go rescue someone. This sounds like something she'd sign on.
Okay. Pip?
If that's what, it sounds like a good avenue towards getting to the temple, so...
Alright. So sorry about that, the Fablix. Just wanted to confirm, before,
I heard.
yeah, alright, yeah, we'd love to help you in exchange for, you know, some water breathing potions and some information.
You require 4? There are 4 of you. 5 of you.
Well, Clarice, you're not actually joining us in the temple, are you? Do you need one?
She's said a couple of times she'll be leaving you for sure.
Yeah, just, well, you know, the Fablix, I should actually probably find out, how long do the effects of that last?
I think water breathing's 8 hours on a potion, I think it's 8, not 1. Let's quickly check. It is for 1 hour.
How quickly can you usually brew those up? Like, could 2 each be a thing that we could get?
So
8
6
total?
you'd be looking at. 8.
No, 2 each. Wait, hold on,
8
hold on.
would
What
be-
obsidian doesn't need it, right?
Oh, this is all becoming terribly confusing. The numbers were never my strong suit.
Wait, I should know this though, right? Mr. Death, obsidian can breathe underwater? One of us can, right?
No, he can hold
I
his
can.
breath for 15 minutes.
Siri has a helmet.
That's right. Okay, no, you've got the helmet. Sorry, yeah, it would actually be 6. Yeah, sorry. Siri has the
I
ability.
will be dipping into reserved supplies, but this seems like the sort of situation that warrants it.
Oh, that would be really great. Thank you so much.
I would like you to kill the villain, not just drive him away for all 6, so we know he does not just come back tomorrow or in a week.
Right, right.
Is this acceptable to you?
I mean, we'll die trying.
That would not be helpful.
Yeah, no, that we'll definitely. That's the goal, is to kill it.
Good. Then we have an agreement. You, of course, will spend the remainder of the afternoon here and rest with us tonight until the creature comes, or will you patrol or seek it out, or...
There certainly will be some preparations made, I believe,
Yeah, we're gonna want to.
in order. Yes.
what
we'll
service
take a
can I
short
be of
rest,
you
but-
in the meantime?
Well, I'd like to know everything you know of this big evil. Particularly if there is something it does to provoke the fear. Is it silent? Is it loud?
It is very loud and raspy, and to provoke the fear, it has killed and eaten them in front of their brethren.
I see. Sometimes creatures call upon magics or other such effects to.
This is not a forced fear, an enchantment. This is fear instilling behavior to a people whose power is tied to their emotions. The moment they became fearful of this creature, it was over for them.
Confidence is key.
To what?
Siri turns to Pip. Do you have anything that can help with that? Any illusion or.
Not really my strong suit. Invisibility, perhaps?
You mean making the Kuotoa invisible?
Well, I can only make one creature invisible, unfortunately, but
I do not think that this would aid them either. As I do not know if you know this, but Kuotoa can see the invisible. And so they would probably not notice that you had done anything.
What usually happens at night? Do they stay awake for the creature? Do they try to fight it and then.
Sleep never anymore do they try to fight. They try to hide in here and hope that they are not taken.
It only takes one?
Normally, it seems to have its fill.
Does it seek? Do you have any poisons? Anything that would help paralyze or
We have tried
slow
this.
down?
We've tried having everybody carry a vial of poison on their person. It did not seem to affect the creature once somebody was consumed.
How about a physical trap? If we use some sort of bait the creature into a position where it can be, at least for a moment, restrained, or
What way does it usually come in? Does that
He has
much?
come through the door, sometimes he has simply scaled the wall. As a reminder, there's basically no roof.
Yeah.
perhaps an ambush of sorts, at least to give us a slight advantage
I mean,
when
if
the
it's
creature
loud,
first
we'll
appears.
probably hear it coming, right?
Most likely, it does not disguise its approach.
If we could get them in a place where it is constrained or trapped, it might be to our advantage.
Well, we have all afternoon to think about it and to discuss, but for now, we care for some refreshments.
Yeah, what do you got?
And I think that's where we will leave things as we settle down. As Gigi mentioned, she wants to make a prompt departure. However, first, I will, through this conversation, I will prompt short rests from you all.
Sweet.
Oh,
Cool. And we will pick up next time. We will catch you all later. Goodbye.